Greetings, it is I, C3 Sabertooth, and welcome to Halo 2's Lost Story Act 2. Let us begin with a brief recap of the story so far. A cape-clad Lord Hood has his award ceremony interrupted by the Covenant's arrival to the solar system, and despite the lack of an explosive space pickle, the Master Chief personally leaps from the Torres... Wait, how do you pronounce that?
Torres Vedras.
What?
Torres Vedras.
Oh, and people mispronounce Cairo. The Master Chief personally leaps from the
Torres Vedras
orbital defense station, lands upon an invading Covenant assault carrier, and destroys it from within. Sergeant Johnson subsequently rescues the Chief after an increasingly familiar skydiving sequence. After a skirmish on Earth, Lord Hood reinitiates Operation Red Flag, and the in-amber-clad spearheads a UNSC assault on the Covenant's invasion fleet. The plan was to drop AGVs containing the Master Chief, Sergeant Johnson, and a team of ODSTs into the vessel to secure the Prophet of Regret, but the plan went sideways upon the Prophet's jump to slipspace. Unwilling to let her target escape, the daring Commander Keyes personally drives her frigate through the rupture to parts unknown. Meanwhile, Thel becomes the Arbiter while toiling in a High Charity cell block, and is sent to assassinate the heretic leader on Threshold's largest moon, Basis, within the shattered remains of Installation 04's control room. After their battle, the heretic leader begins explaining the true purpose of the array, only for Tartarus to shoot him and shove Guilty Spark into a box before either could do so. He then informs the Arbiter that they are leaving the Soel system. We will now return to the Master Chief's side of the story, with an early introduction to Delta Halo.
Report!
Both engine cores have spun to zero. We're drifting.
Archer pods are cold. I'll need to rekey the system.
Do it and find out where we are. Sorry for the quick jump, Chief. You in one piece?
We're fine.
Ma'am, there's an object coming into view now.
Cortana, what exactly am I looking at?
That is another Halo.
So this is what my father found. I thought Halo was some sort of superweapon.
It is. If activated, this ring will cause destruction on a galactic scale.
I
want all the information you've got on the first Halo. I don't care if I have the clearance or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Where's our target?
Perfect.
Perfect. Given what we know about this ring, it's even more important that we capture the Prophet of Regret. Find out why he came to Earth, why he came here. Chief, hard drop. Secure a landing zone.
Understood.
Sergeant, load up 2 flights of Pelicans and follow them in.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
And we've been my is it.
Over the target in 5.
Hang on to your helmet. Could we possibly make any more noise? I guess not.
Once again, I am skipping storyboards that I figure are too similar to their final counterparts, meaning that the next cutscene down the line would be the so-called mural scene, but I uploaded it as a separate video because I think it's stupid. I'll put one of those link things in the top right corner if I can figure out how they work. So take the time to watch it now if you care to get the full Lost Story experience, or if you like Beatles. Moving onward, things stick pretty close to the release versions for a little while before taking a hard pivot to Crazy Town here, and it warrants some explanation. At this point in the story, the Arbiter is still hostile to humanity, but the Great Schism has already begun, as Tartarus and his brutes are targeting both the humans and Arby in equal measure. It appears that the level preceding this cutscene takes place after a variant of Quarantine Zone, in which Miranda and Johnson successfully leave after retrieving the activation index, and are possibly accompanied by the Master Chief and Cortana during the ordeal. Team UNSC escapes on board a Pelican, and Tartarus arrives to reprimand the Arbiter for his failure. In this version, what he says to him would actually make sense.
A bloody fate awaits you and the rest of your incompetent race. And I, Tartarus, chieftain of the brutes, will send you to it.
The Arbiter subsequently escapes the brutes and heads back out into the snow. The humans somehow crash their Pelican shortly after their escape. They could have been shot down, ran out of fuel, or maybe the Master Chief was driving. They are now clustered around a nearby thermal outtake platform, probably to warm themselves up as they attempt to repair a radio. So, you would presumably play as the Arbiter in the level leading into this cutscene, and would battle both the Flood and Tartarus' brutes as you journey towards the humans, possibly by honing in on the fragmented radio transmissions in a second attempt to acquire the index and regain the Prophet's favor. The upcoming cutscene would serve as the conclusion to that level, and would seamlessly transition to the introduction of the similarly cut Master Chief level, Forerunner Tank. Also, there's a giant Cyclops. Enjoy!
Jamal was a big deal.
Now listen, if I would like to eat fish, spend it either you slot.
Right, yes, you'll be a muckema.
Here with David Pat, either with the girls in your room. Well, they surf from the night we know what's still in the syrup, well, they close that. Park with like to eat. Alright, well, I think even I'm retired.
Remember. My name knows it. Yes. Nee. Magema.
Sleep. Ines! Leeuws is out! Arja, had hem weer! Haha! Zit eerst maar in die elsewhere!
The next mission would have been Forerunner Tank, in which you'd play as the Master Chief journeying through the underground complex while battling the Flood. The upcoming cutscene would play at the conclusion of that level. following level appears to have been another Forerunner Tank, in which you'd play as the Arbiter journeying through the same complex and ultimately arriving at the same location.
What is that?
I am a monument to all your sins. Hördan uppstörsluin, stabsilkan avstörsgif. You are fit samtidigt höftlöj. Jag skulle vilja det. Det är så flyttläst i rättvisen stas ruiner. Kastar själen och silhördan uppsilsine. This one is machine and nerve, and has its mind concluded. This one is but flesh and faith, and is the more deluded.
Kill me or release me, parasite. But do not waste my time with talk.
Relax. I'd rather not piss this thing off.
Demon.
Greetings! I am 2401 Penitent Tangent. I am the monitor of Installation 05.
And I am the Prophet of Regret, Counselor Most High, Hierarch of the Covenant.
We have much to do. This facility must be activated if we are to control this outbreak.
Nothing can be done until my sermon is complete.
Not true. It is ready to fire on demand.
Of all the objects our lords left behind, there are none so worthless as these oracles. They know nothing of the great journey.
And you know nothing about containment. You have demonstrated complete disregard for even the most basic protocols.
This one's containment. And this one's great journey are the same. Your prophets have promised you freedom from a doomed existence, but you will find no salvation on this ring. Those who built this place knew what they wrought. Do not mistake their intent, or all will perish as they did before.
This thing is right. Halo is a weapon. Your prophets are making a big mistake.
Your ignorance already destroyed one of the sacred rings, demon. It shall not harm another.
If you will not hear the truth, then I will show it to you. There is still time to stop the key from turning, but first it must be found. You will search one likely spot, and you will search another. Fate had us meet as foes, but this ring will make us brothers.
Next up is the second part of Gravemind's introduction, when the Chief and Cortana arrive on High Charity.
We are, all of us, gravely concerned. The release of the parasite was unexpected, unfortunate, but there is no need to panic. In truth, this is a time to rejoice. A moment that all the Covenant should savor. For the sacred icon has been found. With it, our path is clear, our entry into the divine beyond guaranteed. The great journey is nigh, and nothing, not even the flood, can stop it.
Boo.
Panic! Panic!
Kill the demon!
In the final release, the subsequent levels proceed as Gravemind, Uprising, High Charity, and then the Great Journey, bouncing back and forth between the Master Chief's and the Arbiter's perspectives. But this was a last-minute shuffle in response to the game's original third act being cut, so I've de-shuffled them to give you a sense of the game's originally intended sequence of events. The next cutscene is sort of analogous to the two levels' midpoint, except the subsequent level would really just be a boss battle. You'll see what I mean. This cutscene begins in the same way as Gravemind's retail outro, with the Master Chief pursuing the fleeing hierarchs to the Forerunner ship. However, everything looks radically different from their final counterparts, so I've colored in this panel to give you a sense of the space. This is the gangway, allowing access to the Forerunner ship. Unlike the conduit seen in the final Halo 2, or High Charity's gravity bridges that propel users to their destination, this appears to be a standard light bridge akin to those used by the Forerunners. The Prophets of Truth and Mercy are currently traveling down the gangway to the ship while pursued by the Master Chief. Over here is a Covenant docking arm, securing the Forerunner ship in place. There will suddenly be more of them in an upcoming scene, which I presume is an oversight. And this is the Forerunner ship itself. It looks very different from the Dreadnought featured in the finished product, and funnily enough, it looks awfully similar to a human vessel. And the Dreadnought actually maintained this design for a while. Even after this upcoming scene was scrapped and replaced with the one that made it into the final game, the Forerunner ship still looked like this. And instead of addressing why that could be, I would like to instead point out that in the finished game, you can look out on Numabasa's skyline and notice that 26th century human architecture is starting to look suspiciously Forerunner. That's weird. It's almost as if the two species... No, they couldn't be. Anyway, cutscene.
The great journey waits for no one, brother. Not even you.
Smack! I lekker certified in the front arrow. You're sitting on this way out. The next cutscene would play following your battle with Mercy and his cool stick.
Your pal. Where's he going?
Earth, to finish what we started. And this time, none of you will be left behind.
But that was. Cortana?
If he leads the Covenant fleet to Earth, they won't stand a chance. You have to stop him.
The Asian is nucleus here out. Hurry ahead is near. Errol. Gosh, that's your opinion. That's your fish.
You're with you, panicky.
Ja, så där gick.
Cortana!
Down there, below us! The demon is here! You're dead!
And thus concludes Act 2. Next time, we will finally venture into uncharted territory, delving into Halo 2's wholly deleted third act and covering the game's original conclusion, Halo 2's Lost Ending. For years, all we've known is that it would take us back to the ruins of New Mombasa, and what would later come to be the portal at Voi was actually the Ark itself. And on that Ark, there would be a big reveal. Yeah, a big reveal taking place on a 100,000-year-old Forerunner Ark in East Africa, where modern humans originated about 100,000 years ago. I wonder what we'll learn. I would like to take a moment to once again thank my credited contributors over on Patreon, the trio being Weston Hawk, RCS Rex, and my mother. Thanks, guys! My Patreon is linked in the description if you'd like to add your name to this admittedly fairly short list. Anyway, next video is coming soon. See ya then!